podcast doesn't exist. Episode 10 in the house. We got a lot of crazy shit. Tommy Pham arrested, psych, suspended, doing jack off motions in left field. Roki Sasaki requested a toilet to poop in. That is all over the news. But those are pretty much the only stories we got for you today. What's your opinion on that, Mitch?
I mean, I get it. I went to Japan for the first time in February. Toilets are really a game changer. You sit down, the toilets are warm. You sit down here, the toilets are not warm.
That's the last thing. If you get a warm toilet here, that's bad news, dude. Getting on a toilet in America and it's warm, you're like, oh, I'm going ass to ass with a total stranger.
But in Japan, you're like, man, this is really nice, especially if you're at like a public toilet and it's cold outside.
Especially if it's public.
I mean, it's a heated toilet.
Mitchell prefers a public toilet rather than a private toilet. Wouldn't you rather have a hot private toilet? In my opinion,
I'd love a private hot toilet, but I'm saying you can take a shit outdoors in Japan and your ass is warm. So I get it, Roki. I get it.
So yeah, Roki. We'll get to Roki. We'll get to a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams having a lot of fun. A lot of fan bases having a lot of fun. Some fan bases, not so much. Kevin Gausman had a terrible day today. Threw 53 pitches in one inning. That's a franchise record for the Blue Jays, who I'm looking at the standings right now, have won 5 in a row. Why are you looking at me like that?
The Blue Jays?
No, my God. The Tampa Bay Rays have won 5 in a row. That's what I was going to say. In my head, I was like, the Blue Jays are struggling. Then look at 5 in a row. You got to forgive me, guys. The Blue Jays and the Rays are both blue logos. So sometimes you mix them up. The Blue Jays have actually lost 2 in a row. They were in first place at the time when they signed Vladdy. Now they've fallen to 13 and 15. Kevin Gausman eats shit on the field. Had a terrible start. Then what happened? He gets ejected?
He got ejected. He's arguing with the umpire on his way to the clubhouse. And in his words, he didn't look down and tripped and fell out of frame.
It looks like he's doing that thing where you're like pretending to go down an escalator.
Oh yeah, nice little trick with this couch in the way. Yeah, he is literally screaming at the umpire, then just eats shit down the steps. That is a tough day, especially after you give up. I don't know how many runs did he give up?
I think it was 6.
53 pitches in one inning against the fucking. I'm trying not to curse, but the Yankees, man. The Yankees who beat them 2 times today, 2 times in one day. When does that ever happen? Well, a few times a year, but yeah, the Yankees curb stomped them. And the Blue Jays, 13 and 15, 3 of their last 7. They started the season with 42% playoff odds. They're all there at 31%. Woo! Who's hitting good for him? I mean, Vladdy's doing good. Santander has not been doing good. And Bo Bichette. Is he done, dude? Is he cooked?
I kept saying like, oh, he hadn't hit a homer in a year pretty much. He hasn't hit a homer since May of last year.
How much has he been hurt?
Yeah, I think he missed like half of the season last year, but it's still like a significant amount of time to not hit a homer. So I was thinking, man, he's probably doing terribly. He's like a league average hitter.
League average hitter, but like to me, that's concerning if you're saying, I thought he was doing bad, but he's actually league average. Like Bo Bichette is a guy who a few years ago we might consider an MVP candidate. Especially at 23 years old, putting a 5.9 WAR season. He was 12th in MVP at 23. Now just 3-4 years later, he's league average, and we're like, oh, he's actually doing okay. Like that's kind of concerning.
Yeah, so I went and checked. It's been 57 games since he last hit a homer.
Yeah, that's tough, and this is going to be his free agent year. I'm going to be curious to see what he makes, because if he continues on this pace, it's interesting because he's had some good seasons, and he's a shortstop. I'm not sure what his defense is, but like shortstops are highly valued. He's only going to be 28 next year, so that's going to be interesting free agency. It's going to be an interesting year for them. I don't know. Do you have any faith in the Blue Jays to ever like compete this year?
They're in a really tough division. I think the Orioles are struggling. We'll get to them, I think, but it's tough when you're with the Yankees and the Red Sox, and the Rays are always going to have some devil magic around there.
The Devil Rays. You're not supposed to use the dead name, Mitch, please.
I didn't. I only inferred. It's going to be tough to come back.
Jack's from Tampa. Do not use the Devil Rays moniker in front of Jack.
It triggers him, doesn't it?
Yes.
No, tampons, they were like They thought the Sunshine Rays, that was gay. That was gay. And I don't
Well,
agree with
you
that.
don't speak for all Tampians.
Tampons.
Now you're saying all kinds of offensive shit. The producer is just gonna get us kicked off the freaking platform. Mitchell, go on.
I forgot what I was saying.
Okay, let's go to the fan questions. The fan question wants to ask, why does Jack have micro penis? No, that's not the tip.
What'd they say?
Well, I'll say this now. We're actually going to start doing mailbag questions every episode. So if any questions, drop them in the comments. And then somebody asked, any tips for a guy with a micro penis? This question is for Jack.
I just have one small tip.
Got him, dude. That was rude of me. I shouldn't have said that, Jack. Someone commented that, and that was a fucked up comment. I should have ignored it. But Mitchell put it in the doc, so you actually got to get mad at Mitch.
No, I saw the question. It was the first question, and it was half the questions. I'm pretty sure.
We only got like 3 or 4 questions. But a lot of, 25% of the people asking questions want to know. And now we got a good answer. So we're going back to the questions at the end of the app. But if you have any questions, please drop them. Back to the freaking Rays. We cut Mitchell off. Do they have a chance this year, Mitch, at all?
It's going to be tough. I mean, Vladdy, since signing his extension, he's hitting for, I guess he's just taking walks and having a decent average, but he's only hit 2 homers.
You have 2? Yeah, I thought it was 1, but 2 is still really little. I mean, it took him forever. He hit against our boys, the Braves, with his first home run, which was like a week ago, which is funny because that's kind of Vlad's thing. You look at him and you think, okay, this guy is a massive home run hitter. And yeah, he had 30 home runs last year, 26 the year before. But like for a guy like that big, you expect him to be hitting 40, but he actually hits the ball on the ground a lot.
He's kind of like Soto in the fact that he hits the ball really hard, but it's always on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he had 48 home runs at 22 years old. Since then, he's just not really hitting for that much power. 30 home runs in a season. Hey, that's nothing to shake a stick at. But yeah, if the Blue Jays don't get Scherzer back anytime soon, I don't think it's looking good.
It just kind of feels like the same old story with the Blue Jays, where you come into the season, you have a lot of faith in them, and then they kind of just are mediocre.
Yeah, but this team's a little different because I had no faith in them going into this year. I don't know much people did. Just because we've seen it a few years in a row. It's like every year they get less and less hype. There was that one season where they're coming in like, watch out for the big bad BJs. And then they were saying about the Orioles too. Look back for the big back Orioles. And the Orioles have, hate to beat a dead horse, but man, they've gotten even worse since we've took a big dump on their season. They get swept by the Detroit Tigers. So the two teams that me and Mitchell have put a stance in, we love the Tigers and we hate the Orioles. It manifests into real life. So Detroit sweeps the O's in 3 games. How did Charlie Morton do? I know that's a random question. I don't know.
I feel like his ERA went down.
I hope it was a 10.
But it didn't go down by much. So, yeah, it did. He went 3.2 innings. He only allowed 3 runs, 7.36 ERA in his last start. So that meant that his ERA went down from probably 11 something to 10.36.
So he didn't get to the 4th inning, gave up 3 runs, and his ERA went down. Bad sign for the Orioles, who still, as we stand, are 28th in starting pitching ERA. Oh, baby. Offense isn't doing great either, but yeah, it's tough for the Orioles. It's crazy how fast things can change, dude. I mean, they got Cade Povich and Dean Kramer, Goose Egg. Cade Povich was a Savannah Banana, Mitchell. What the?
Do you know anything about the Savannah Bananas? I don't
just
think
released
I
a
have.
whole video about the Savannah Bananas. If you haven't seen, but Cade Povich, it's always a bad look when your team is throwing out a Savannah Banana in your starting staff. No offense to the Bananas or to Cade Povich, but I'm just going to say that. It's bad look. I know he wasn't on the team that was doing the frickin' stilts and fire bats. He was on the quote-unquote, on the competitive summer league team, but still, dude, dancing in kilts in the summer. Now you come into the big leagues, brother. It's not going to work out. That's a whole different attitude change. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows in big leagues, baby. It ain't Savannah. This ain't banana ball. This is Baltimore. One of the fucking most hard-nosed cities in the world. Ever seen The Wire?
I have not.
Well, I haven't seen it either, but it's all about Baltimore. It's all about how rough the city is. So if you're coming from the Savannah Bananas, you're not going to fit in. Oof. But yeah, Tyler O'Neill, Jordan Westberg. That's the thing about the Orioles, man. They got a lot of production over the past 2 years. Guys like Jordan Westberg, Colton Cowser. Those are two guys specifically that I want to say, and nothing against Colton Cowser and Westberg. They've proved to be great, good hitters. But like, if those are the two guys you're relying on the most heavily in the offense, could you really say that you're a World Series contender? I don't think so.
I feel like they're in a bigger hole than the Braves were even like a week ago, and now the Braves have kind of shot back up, and the Orioles are still kind of in the basement. I don't know if you can. I know it's April, it's early, but it's going to be really hard to come back from the start that they've had.
Yeah, and only reason I say that, it's not like their record is so bad that they can't come back. I think it's just like the starting pitching. I mean, I've said it 100 times, but they got nobody to go to. Unless these guys start getting healthy or they start making a crazy trade that we didn't think was coming, or they got someone in the minor leagues. I mean, they had 1,000 prospects. Why can't any of them fucking pitch? God damn. But yeah, Gary Sanchez and Jorge Mateo both have negative WRC pluses. Both, what's their pitching WAR?
Well, I mean, their pitching WAR is probably even lower than their hitting WAR.
That's bad. We got two Shoheis on the Orioles. Either of them are doing well. Ooh, it's been tough for the O's. But you know what? We still wish them the best, right? So that's what the AL East. We got Yankees on top again. We got the Red Sox right behind them. I think it's going to be a 3-4 team race right there. But going to the West, the Mariners have shot up out of nowhere and taken first place over the Tejas Rangers, man. The Mariners are doing it. A lot of that has to do with the big dumper, one of our favorite guys, but it's not just a big dumper. Randy Arozarena, beasting. The boys can't fucking lose. Who did the Mariners just beat this weekend? They took two. Okay,
The
they
Marlins.
took 2 out of 3 out of the Marlins. They really have been like slowly beating teams 2 out of 3. You don't have to win all the game. We heard it from Ozuna. You don't have to win every game. Just win every series, and that's what the Mariners do. Beat Texas, Cincinnati, thank you very much. Toronto, thank you very much. Boston, thank you very much. Miami, thank you very much. You win 5 series in a row. You look up, oh shit, we just erased a terrible start. Now we're in first place. Suck my dick, haters. We are the Seattle Mariners. And at the end of the day, it really is just their rotation is beastly, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Logan Gilbert's hurt. I think he had left the game Friday or Saturday with forearm discomfort. So that's a red flag. I also came across this stat on Reddit. Since April 10, so the past 17 days, the Mariners are 1-4 in game 1 of a series, and then they're 10-0 in every other game. So they're gonna lose that first game of a series, and then they're gonna win the back two.
It's called playing possum. You lose the first game. Oh, Mariners aren't even that good. Come back out of the dead 2 out of 3. Thank you very much. You don't have to win every game. Just win every series. Take it from the Phillies. The Phillies, down and out. Everyone in Philadelphia was about to burn the team at the stake. They were about to tow Bryce Harper's car and take it to the lot, yo. But they didn't. They stayed calm. They went to Chicago, and what did they do, Mitchell? They played possum, bro. Friday afternoon, Wrigley game, little rainy. Just coming off a sweep of the Mets, the Phillies, the whole city's on fire. Fuck the Phillies, bro. Bryce Harper sucks. And what happened after that?
The accent's pretty good.
Was it good? Because like sometimes I usually have to get in character and then I can get good, but then sometimes I'll just start doing British accents and shit.
It's a little Baltimore-y.
It's pretty similar, isn't it? Philly and Baltimore. Come on, it's the same shit. If you're doing the fake accent, not Jack's never been to either. Roasted, just kidding. He's been to both. I actually went to Philly with him last week. So but yeah, they curb stomped the Cubs for 2 out of 3 games. Can't call it a curb stomping, but lose the first game, win the next 2. Won today under the bright lights of Sunday night baseball. And believe it or not, last episode we came in here talking so high and mighty about the Cubs. And this just goes to show that it's April, right? But so high and mighty about the Cubs. Best run differential in the league. The Cubs, man. They're off to a great start against the hardest schedule in baseball. You look at it now, guess who has a better run differential than the Chicago Cubs?
Who?
The Cincinnati mother in Reds. How the hell did that happen, Mitch?
Well, I mean, that 24-2 game really helps you out a lot. And when you lose like 3 of your games 1-0, it really doesn't hurt your run differential that much.
I see. I shouldn't have asked Mitchell that question because I knew he had the answer. You didn't give how crazy that is. How a team, the Reds, who like we on record saying these guys couldn't score a run for like 3 weeks, have a better run differential than the Cubs. And you're right. I guess not giving up runs is just as helpful for a run differential than getting runs.
They also played the Rockies in Colorado.
True. So that helps a lot. The Reds right now, we pooped on them. They're sitting at 15-13. They've won 4 in a row. 4 in a row for the Reds. They're sneaking up on the Cubbies, just a game and a half back, and now have a better run differential than the Cubs. Second best run differential in the league, only behind Mudda, Truckin' Tigers and our Yankees, who are tied. So actually the third best in the league. Either way, I mean, yes, a lot of that has to do with that one game. What was the score? 25-2?
24-2.
So literally half of their run differential is from one game. So can you trust the run differential if you're a Reds fan? Can you hang your hat on that? Maybe not. Maybe you can't. But you still got to be excited for 4 in a row. Who's doing it for the Reds right now, Mitch? I know you looked into the Reds a lot.
So a few weeks ago, Austin Hayes came back. Both of us were like, yeah, Austin Hayes isn't going to save your offense. Guess what? Austin Hayes is saving the Reds offense. He has 8.8 WAR in just like a week and a half. He has 5 homers in 12 games. He has a 388, 444, 755 slash line. He leads the Reds in WAR. And we were saying, man, this guy, he's okay, but he's not going to save the offense.
Jesus Christ. Guess you know who could use Austin Hayes? The fucking team that got rid of him, the Orioles.
I mean, the Phillies too.
Oh, the Phillies had him last year.
And then Gavin Lux has been
Phillies
doing
don't
pretty
need
good.
him?
Gavin Lux, dumped by the Dodgers. The Dodgers went, Hae-Sung Kim, we'd rather have him. Kim's in the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin Lux has a 141 WRC plus, 41% better than the league average hitter.
But where do you think Gavin Lux would be? But like Gavin Lux, if he's on the Dodgers, should play in front of Rojas, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, he would be playing in front of Rojas.
What is the benefit? I guess Gavin Lux, you pay Rojas less? Or they just want the leadership
They
guy?
just want the leadership, the coaching, invaluable.
But can Lux play shortstop? Maybe not.
They tried it out a few seasons ago, I think before he tore his ACL.
And then didn't he have an arm issue
And he
where
was bad.
he had like the yips, right, with his arm?
Yeah.
So maybe they don't trust him at shortstop. But it is interesting to release Gavin Lux and keep Rojas, whatever. So the Reds are just sweeping up people's trash and making them treasure. They get Austin Hayes and Gavin Lux, who have just beasted for the boys. Okay. Who else?
They have this guy named Austin Wins, who I'm not even like
Austin,
that familiar with.
Austin, all I do is win no matter what.
Part of it is
You
because he went
no.
6 for 7 against the Orioles.
Wait, you never heard of Austin, all I do is wins no matter what?
I'm sorry, I haven't.
Casual.
Should I?
Mitchell's a casual dude. Austin Wins. Sorry, go on about Austin Wins.
Anyway, he's slashing. He's hitting 433. A lot of those hits came against the Orioles, but then he had another 3-hit game. So he's their like backup catcher.
And fuck, dude, we jinxed Hunter Green completely. We come on here, we talk about, make this, clickbait TikTok fucking video. Shouldn't say that. We really believed it, but I called Hunter Green the best pitcher in baseball like 3 times because he was in the moment. Through his first, I think, 4 starts, he had the number 1 pitch in baseball and the number 2 pitch in baseball with one guy, which is, I mean, literal sorcery. But since then, 2 mediocre starts for him. Who did he face?
He had a 5-run outing. I can't even remember who it was against. There we go. And then he faced off against the Rockies, the lowly Rockies, who can't score runs in Coors, and he allowed 3 runs against them. So,
Shay. Coors, though. It was in Coors?
but it was against this Rockies team who fired their hitting coach. Like, if you lose your job as the Rockies hitting coach, like, how badly do you have to be doing to get fired as the Rockies hitting coach? That should be like the safest job in MLB.
Or, I mean, seriously, this is the guy who got caught flying the airplane last year.
I mean, he kept his job then.
So this guy, they're taking a team flight to who knows where. And there's a video of the Rockies hitting coach just in the cockpit riding the thing. The pilots let the hitting coach ride the airplane. And then they got out for some way, and the FAA is investigating it. This guy's just chilling in the cockpit.
Oh, give the guy a break.
I
dude.
mean, I thought it was awesome. And the Rockies gave him a break. They just said, I know we're terrible. We're the worst team. We suck at offense, and you're a bad hitting coach. We're still going to keep you. We don't care that you flew an airplane when you're not licensed, but then fired him this year because
FAA violations are totally fine, but having a league worst offense in Colorado, that's terrible.
that is a different level. That is a different level. But damn, man. Shout out to the freaking Reds. Giving the Cubs a run for their money early on, man. Ellie De La Cruz, he's going to be the big X factor for them. I feel like I don't want to say in my opinion, the only way the Reds are legit and can win this division is if Ellie De La Cruz is first, second, or third in MVP voting. Because he has that potential as a player. And other than De La Cruz, who on this lineup do you really trust 100% to give you a standout season? I'm sure a couple guys will end up having standout seasons or, above average seasons, but not a lot of guys you can rely on. Brady Singer's done great. Nick Lodolo's done great. Hunter Green's done great. Nick Martinez has done great. Nick Martinez hasn't really done great. Either way, the first three's done great. So it's really all hands on deck. A lot of those starters have really done it for the Reds. And the manager can't chew gum. But that's a different story for another time. Let's go to the West, brother. The San Francisco Giants still in first place. Are they legit, Mitch?
They've had some fluky wins over the past couple of days.
I like to hear that. Because, at first, I was pro-Giants. I said, how cool would it be if the NL West was a 4-team dogfight, 4 of the greatest teams, and the Giants surprised everyone. And then I realized that might fuck the Braves in a wild card scenario. So I'm kind of off the Giants right now for biased reasons. However, as an unbiased fan, if I put that cap on, I am a fan of the Giants, who are leading the division, have the best run differential, are better than the Dodgers, are better than the Padres, are better than the Diamondbacks, and you better bet your bottom dollar they're better than the Colorado Rockies. The San Francisco Giants are doing it with that big fat rabbit.
Today, earlier this week, Christian Yelich ate it in the 8th inning, though.
Today? Early this week?
Earlier this week. Fluky win on like a Wednesday or Thursday afternoon.
Run it back, bitch.
And then today, Luke Jackson fields an infield grounder, 9th inning tied game. And he throws it into the outfield, and you have a walk-off Little League home run.
Bro, Luke Jackson, you can't really blame only Luke Jackson. There was like 4 errors on that play. They literally, there was no one on base?
No, it was the first pitch of the 9th inning.
He hits a dribbler to Alex Jackson. Oh, gets by him. Oh, he's going to second. He's going to second. He's going to second. Oh, wow, we get a second base. Okay, slow down. Everything's done. This guy fucking picks it up and chucks it for fucking third. He's going to third. Gets by him. Oh, shit. He gets to go home again. But he goes home. And the Giants win on a home run that went 10, 15 feet?
15 feet?
15, 20 feet. Hey, man, that might just be the magic. That could be the team of destiny. I mean, I don't know how many people had the Giants competing against the LA Dodgers and the San Diego Padres, but here they are, man. Respect to them. How's Verlander doing? That's going to be what I really am excited to see. I would love if Verlander had a great season this year at 47 years old, but I kind of doubt it. Last time I checked, he wasn't doing so hot.
He's kind of locked in. Back-to-back quality starts. Most recent start, he allowed 2 runs in 6 innings. The start before that was 1 run in 6 innings. His ERA is under 5 now. It was a rough start to the season. And I think I don't think he's like a Cy Young candidate, but as long as he's like a 4th starter, that's pretty good for the Giants. They already have a Cy Young candidate in Logan Webb.
Yeah, 20 years in. 20 years in, back-to-back starts going. He's given some innings. Last 4 starts, he's gone 5 2/3 at least. He's an innings eater at this point. which I think is rare for the Giants. I mean, the Giants are kind of one of those teams that really like going to the bullpen early. They're kind of like a Rays, or a Tigers pitching chaos type squad. That they got guys like Jordan Hicks, who are kind of like hybrid guys. But yeah, go Giants. Keep it up. I mean, it might be time to worry a little bit if you're the Dodgers. Tyler Glasnow goes down with an injury. I don't know. Have you gotten any update on it at all? I doubt it because it happened this afternoon, right?
I just saw like shoulder discomfort, but I haven't seen any like long-term diagnosis. I don't think there's gonna be for a day or two. This is also like his second straight start leaving the game early. He had cramps the week before. He went 4 innings. This was in the second inning. And when it's a shoulder issue, you really start to worry about it being like a long-term injury.
Yeah, that's what they always say, man. Shoulders are way harder to repair for a pitcher than an elbow or a freaking hamstring or whatever it is. But yeah, another injury for the Dodgers. More important, like another injury for Tyler Glasnow. And at some point, you can't really be like, hey, Dodgers are so unlucky. We keep getting injured. It's like you kind of got this guy and signed him to a long deal. He's never not gotten injured.
He had a career high in innings last year, and he still fell 26 innings short of being a qualified starter.
Yeah, so 134 innings last year was the most he ever threw in a season. And he got hurt before the playoffs and didn't even pitch in the playoffs.
Yeah, he was done by August.
Damn. So, yeah, Glasnow's literally been hurt every single season he's pitched. And he's pitched this is his 10th year. He's never pitched a full season. And he's missed an entire season. I guess technically he didn't, but he had 2 starts in 2022. Coming off Tommy John, that was Sticky Stuff's fault. But yeah, so I can't say I called it. I think everyone in the world called it, but I think it's pretty safe to assume Glasnow is going to be on the IL.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't at least spend 15 days on the IL.
Yeah, so that's bad news for the Dodgers. Blake Snell also reports that injury is worse than originally thought, right?
So they don't have like a worse diagnosis, but he tried pitching again and they shut him down. So he's still not throwing again. And for a starting pitcher who's been out for a little bit, he has to ramp up.
Mm-hmm.
And that normally takes like a couple of weeks at a minimum. And now they're not even letting him throw for a couple of weeks. So the earliest we'll see him again is June.
Yeah. So let's just go down the list once again for the 5th time. Dodgers pitchers who are hurt right now: Blake Trident, Michael Kopech, Brusdar Graterol, Gavin Stone, Blake Snell, Emmett Sheehan, River Ryan, Clayton Kershaw, Kyle Hurt is hurt, and Tony Gonsolin. And then you can tack on Tyler Glasnow on that. So that is a lot of pitchers. Hey, they're getting Kershaw back soon, though, right?
So he has to serve the full 60 days on the IL. So it's only been a month or 40 days since the season started for the Dodgers. He still has to be on the IL for at least 20 days.
That's weird. So he's pitching in the minors, but he's on the 60-day IL, so they can't. If he wasn't on the 60-day IL, he might be pitching tomorrow.
But because he's on the IL, he can't. Like the Dodgers can't do anything.
I wonder if they did that or knowingly, like, we're not going to bring him up either way. Because, I mean, he didn't have a spring training or anything. He's down with a toe surgery. I love these old guys. Him and Scherzer going down with toe surgery and a thumb surgery. When you get to that age, man, it just starts aching, brother. You got to do what you can. So you're worried about the Dodgers now because now they got Dustin May, Rocky Sasaki, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Which one of those do you trust? Of those 3, who do you trust?
Oh, Yamamoto.
But you got it. I mean,
for sure.
Obviously, you trust Yamamoto, but do you trust Dustin May? And do you trust Roki?
Read it.
Do you trust Rocky Sasaki or not, Mitch?
I do not trust Roki at all, actually, right now. I think part of it is I hadn't the expectation that he would come in and he would just be blowing away batters. His strikeout rate's like 16%, which is really low for a starting pitcher.
Yeah, how was his last starts? What was the final line on that? because it was his best start, wasn't it? No, he gave up
No.
3 runs.
So he gave up a leadoff homer,
Mm.
and then he settled in, and then I think his last inning he allowed those 2 other runs.
That's what because I watched that game. I saw him give up the leadoff homer to O'Neal Cruz. And then he was dicing people up for like the next 3 innings. I was like, oh, Rocky Sasaki's the man. And I guess I turned it or switched it to the Braves and totally missed him giving up 3 more to the Buccos, which is not a powerful offense. But he finishes his line 5 2/3, so almost gets through 6, 3 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Yeah, so his velocity, his season average was 96. Do you know what it was last game?
96.1.
96.1. His Ks.
So his season average is 18.8. Last game it was 16.7. His walk rate has been averaging 16.4. That came down a little bit. But still an 8.3 walk rate is not great for a starter who's not striking out batters.
Yeah. Dude, the splitter is so nasty, though, watching him pitch. Like, you see guys just look so stupid on this splitter that it's just, like, just dropping, like, 14 inches.
That's why I don't understand why he can't strike out batters. That splitter looks so nasty.
Yeah.
And yet batters just don't swing at all.
Well, I want to say I didn't watch his last outing, but I feel like he doesn't really trust his fastball. Like, it's 96, which to a regular pitcher is above average for a major league starter. That's above average pitch, and that's a good velocity. But for Roki Sasaki, you're used to throwing 100, and now you're throwing 96. That can't be a good feeling. Like, you're used to throwing 99 to 100. Now you're throwing a lot less, and you're in a new league with more powerful hitters, better hitters. Like, I can see that psychologically being a problem and leading to more walks. And it's also, I mean, the stat here is that his fastball has the lowest whiff rate of any pitch in MLB, or at least any fastball, at like 8%. Like, no one's missing it. It's, I think, by some metrics, like the worst fastball in the league. For people who like are pitch design, I guess spin rate or shape or whatever, whatever they're basing that off of. I'm not sure like people are crushing it in terms of average, but
So batters are hitting 236 off of it. It has a positive run value according to Baseball Savant, which means that his pitch is good. It's not great. So I'm wondering like if it's just too wild for him, if he's afraid that if he throws it too much. No, but he's throwing it 50% of the time. Like,
yeah,
it's getting results, but
I feel like it's
no one's whiffing on it.
I feel like it's been thrown for a ball a lot though, probably not a lot of those in the zone. If I had to put a guess on Rocky Sasaki's fastball. But either way, I mean, the main story with Roki is the toilet shit, man. People love are going crazy about this toilet stuff. So apparently during negotiations with the Dodgers and Roki Sasaki's camp, he did say that a toilet would make a difference. He requested this special toilet that is this a Japanese toilet?
So yeah, it's a Japanese toilet. It's got a bidet, it's got a seat warmer, it's got a dryer on it. There's like a lot of features. You can like control the level of the bidet, like the water pressure. And he said to the Dodgers, if you install these, it would make a difference in where I would sign. So the Dodgers put in 8 of these. I have the Google search because I couldn't find which brand he wanted. But these range between $300 to $800 per toilet.
So Roki Sasaki got 8 toilets, and I bet his teammates are very happy with that. You know, and it's very LA. If the Phillies did this, I'd say this doesn't fit the squad. This is bad for team morale. But in LA, dude, you're used to that kind of fancy shit, dude. So you need a nice heated toilet. These guys, you know, they're not as tough as us East Coast guys. We got to call a spade a spade. They could use them. Apparently, his non-bidet ERA is better than his bidet ERA, though, bro. That's not fucking good. On the road, he's got a 2.77, but at home with his bidet, 4.38. So maybe he's getting too comfortable. I don't know, Roki, but the numbers don't fucking lie, dude.
You think that's the key to his slider, dude? He's slippery from the ass up.
Hey, man, little some foreign substance down there, you know. He gets it on the. You get
maintaining my strength and my stamina during the whole year.
Yeah.
That didn't really apply.
I don't know what that is or who that is or where that came from, but thank you.
Jose
for doing
Canseco.
that. Okay, Jose Canseco, he's a legend. But so if he's at home, he has the way you're explaining to me to this, Mitchell, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're saying is that at home with the bidet, he's got a clean ass. Not as good, but on the road, if it's not as clean, he can use it as like a foreign substance type thing and get some more grip on the ball. Is that what you're saying? Is that why he has a 2.77 on the road?
I think that was what Jack was saying, wasn't it?
That's what I was implying.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And I'm not an expert, and I don't even take shit, so don't look at me, guys. Anyway.
The Kim Jong-un of baseball.
Anyway, here's my story of the week, and it's Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham gets into it with a fan on the sidelines, right? And this fan has some fucking balls. Because if you know anything about Tommy Pham, this is a guy you really shouldn't mess with. He is, I would say, maybe the scariest player in baseball.
I would easily say he's the toughest player in baseball. He's
Toughest.
the one you do not want to mess with.
Toughest because the way Tommy Pham operates, like, you could fuck up a little bit and he could take offense to that and he's ready to Muay Thai your ass, right? Like, he doesn't fuck with you. Like, he does not play. If you mess with him, he's gonna buck up and he's gonna try to get some. This guy, he's chasing a ball in the outfield. This guy decides to reach over and touch him on the shoulder in the middle of a play. And brother, where was this? In Anaheim?
Yeah, it was in Anaheim.
These West Coast guys, they don't get it, bro. You don't do that. He touches him mid-play. And this is the last guy. I mean, mid-play, Tommy Pham looks at this guy like, you are fucking crazy, man. You just touched me, bro? And then throws it in. Goes back to his position and gives him a little bit of a freaking, you'll see it here in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, little suck my dick out of left field. Gets it right on the big screen, too. The TV cameras are on him, telling this fan to basically give him head. And he gets hit with a fine for that, which I understand. You can't really do that to fans. They're fans. They paid. Now, this guy did an illegal thing on the field, and I don't blame Tommy Pham, but I just think this is a good opportunity. Because if you're not familiar with Tommy Pham, even if you are, to go through his history as a baseball player is pretty fascinating because this is one of like 20 incidents with Tommy Pham. And the interesting thing about Tommy Pham is that, you know, there's a lot of guys who get in a lot of on-the-field drama, a lot of guys who get in a lot of off-the-field drama, a lot of guys who are prone to get in fights. Usually those are like controversial players that like people don't really like, okay? But according to his teammates, Tommy Pham is one of the most beloved players in MLB. Like every year, someone comes out, some story comes out, and then it's like 10 teammates of Tommy Pham's just tell you how much they love Tommy Pham. Because he's a fucking savage. All right, this is a player. He's still getting jobs. He's rocking with the Pirates now. He's 37 years old, and he's still getting jobs. Tommy Pham wasn't even supposed to make it in MLB. In fact, as a child, they were worried he wasn't even going to walk. He had to wear leg braces from ages 2 to 3.5, okay, out of fear that he suffered from rickets. Now, Mitchell, what is rickets?
I have no idea.
Jack, what is rickets?
That's what Forrest Gump had.
Okay. I don't know, man. I'd have never heard of Rick, but dude, that sounds
Mitch is
like
on it.
that sounds like a disease from 1919, dog. That sounds like something they figured out after the first pandemic.
So it's a childhood disease characterized by softening and weakening of bones due to a deficiency in vitamin D, calcium, and phosphate.
So he had
So weak bones.
weak bones. So they were afraid he had weak bones. He had to wear braces on his legs. Okay. According to Pham, his dad was in prison while he was growing up. For most of the time he was growing up, his dad was in prison. In fact, he only ever met his dad 2 times. As a kid, he was constantly getting evicted. However, he did end up becoming a great baseball player, as we know. Okay. He got drafted in the 16th round out of high school. That if you don't know, is not a high round, okay? Players drafted between the rounds 12 and 20 have a 9.9% chance to make an MLB. Have a 9.9% chance to make it to MLB. That's 12 to 20, and he got picked in the 16th round, so I would estimate he's probably got an 8% chance to make it to the league out of high school. Most players in that situation, if you're a high schooler getting picked in the 16th round, would go back to high school. He got like a $365,000 signing bonus, and wasn't there a reason for that? He was supposed to get drafted earlier or
He
something?
thought he was going to get drafted in the 3rd round by the Cardinals. Apparently, his agent screwed it up. He asked for too much money. So when the Cardinals eventually did draft him in the 16th round, he told the Cardinals, I want that 3rd round money, or I'm not going to sign. But I'll go back to the original price before the agent hiked up the price.
Okay.
The Cardinals were like, we can do that.
So 360 grand, which is that's a lot of money,
Life-changing for a guy in this situation.
especially at that age. However, it is until it's not, because Tommy Pham spent like 9 years in the minor leagues. And especially at that time, I think what do you get paid to be in the minor leagues? You get paid 20.
$4,000 a year if you're lucky in
Yeah.
some levels.
So $4,000 a year, you're making 360 grand stretch over 9 years. You look back and actually you're making like 30, 40K a year. So, and then half of that signing bonus goes to taxes almost. So like reality is he wasn't getting paid a lot, and he was a 9th round pick, but he comes out of high school. He signs anyway, signs to the good old St. Louis Cardinals, and for a while, it looked like this was not going to work out. He struggled. He went through some hurdles. During his minor league career, he got stabbed by his stepfather while they were in a fight, okay? And this would not be the last time he got stabbed in his career. We don't know for sure whether he missed any playing time due to the stabbing. Do you know that, Mitch? Do you know if he ever missed any time?
I don't.
Because this story came out years later. So apparently in 2013, he got into an argument with his stepfather, who I guess, from what I know, there's not a lot of details on this story. Do you know anything?
He was like, yeah, 5 years ago I got stabbed by my stepfather. I've had a rough upbringing. This was one example. And people were like, oh, we didn't know that.
Oh, I don't want to pry into that too much. Like Tommy Pham basically in like 2016, like hit himself in the head with like a bat weight and started bleeding from his face, had this big ass bandage on his head in the middle of a game, and then tried to come in the game and his manager wouldn't let him. But people were like, what the fuck happened to your head? Like we watched the entire game. No one hit you in the head. He's like, oh, I was in the batting cage. I hit myself in the head. And they're like, oh, did it hurt? He's like, no, it didn't really hurt. And then casually mentioned that he got stabbed by his stepdad like 5 years prior in the conversation. And that's when people learned, all right, Tommy Pham, this is a different motherfucker.
Dude, I think I'm going to go ahead and declare Tommy Pham my favorite baseball player, bro. He's a little kid. He's got Forrest Gump disease. He needs vitamin D. He starts playing baseball. He's stealing bases. The braces fly right the fuck off. He's getting charged by the sun like he's Superman.
No, he should be. He is, I was saying earlier, he's one of the rarest players where like, you'll hear it in a minute, but like the amount of altercations and fucking drama he's been in and still come out as like universally beloved throughout the league, it's very rare. But anyway, so in minor leagues, he's having a tough time. He's got an eye problem too. So he gets stabbed by his stepdad. That's pretty bad. But then on top of that, he has an eye problem. Had to spend tens of thousands of dollars to fix his eyes. Like I said, he didn't have any fucking money anyway, but he spent $11K on eye surgery, Mitchell.
He was spending money on contact lenses that didn't work, eye surgeries that didn't work, and eventually he found something that did, but he was going through money crazy for this eye.
He was trying to figure it out, because I was assuming like the team would pay for that, or at least part of it.
They might have, but like the quote that I saw was like $11K on eye stuff.
I believe Tommy Pham. He dropped $11K on his eyes. And I guess it worked, bro, because after 8 seasons in the minors, he never made it to MLB. He was 25. Many players at this age probably quit, right? 25 years old, you played 8 years in the minors. Tommy Pham did not. He was just starting to find his groove, had fixed eyes, and finally made it to MLB briefly in 2014. Then went back to the minors, briefly came up again in 2015. Sent down again, then finally made the opening day roster in 2016. And in his very first at-bat, he strained his oblique. So guy waits 9 years to get a shot at the opening day roster, comes up first at bat, hurt my oblique. Probably felt like he got stabbed in there. Stop, dude. That's not cool. Anyway, once it healed,
You said that.
he immediately gets sent down by the team. And according to him, he lost it, confronted his manager, and, quote, threw numbers at him, basically arguing with statistics on why he should be on the team instead of whoever they called up instead of him, later saying, quote, that's not something you want to do. And he's right. If you're a rookie player, you should not yell at your manager and call him an idiot for sending you down to the minors, or you're going to be labeled a diva. But as you will see, Tommy Pham gets away with shit like this every fucking year because people respect Tommy Pham. You can't not respect him. Like, he's the type of guy, he can speak up, talk shit, and you got to just hear it and listen him out because he's got respect, all right? Later in the season, he gets called up again while the team was struggling. After a loss, he apparently got on a stool, called out his teammates for not working hard enough, showing up late, and not playing hard enough. He was a rookie, calling out the St. Louis Cardinals, which was a very veteran team at the time. I mean, Molina, Wainwright, Carpenter, like this is a veteran team, gets on a stool, calls them all lazy, and nobody has a problem with it. Okay, Adam Wainwright comes out, tells the media he respected it, and that's what the Cardinals needed, okay? Because according to multiple teammates, Pham is like one of the hardest working players in the league. He says he has 5 hitting coaches, spends thousands on contacts, spent thousands on a new pitching machine when the Cardinals pitching machine broke, all while making league minimum. He did that. Now, how the fuck does that happen?
The quote too was, he has a minimum of 5 hitting coaches on staff. I have no idea how he afforded that.
5 hitting coaches. I don't understand why the team's machine breaks and you have to buy a new one. Or he was just like tired of it.
He was tired of it being broken. He went out and bought a new one with like special features because he was sick and tired of a broken machine.
Yeah, so as you can see, Tommy Pham is like real fucking serious and real intense and real dedicated to baseball. That's a great word to describe Tommy Pham. Real dedicated, real intense. 3 words, 4 times. Real dedicated, real intense. Tommy Pham. Let's make a t-shirt. Sell it online. Who wants one? Okay, but in 2017, he doesn't make the opening day roster. He gets called up in May and finishes the season after not getting called up 10th in WAR, finishes 11th in MVP voting, and this is Tommy Pham's breakout season at 29 years old. He goes off. He's one of the best players in the league out of nowhere and doesn't even pull up a full season. He then essentially calls out his own team, saying he doesn't understand why it took so long for them to bring up. He doesn't understand why it took so long for them to bring him up, saying, quote, they told me they believed in me. If that's the fucking case, then why the fuck was I demoted to AAA? I got to say, that's a fucking good point. Very good point by Tommy Pham. I mean, they made this guy spend 9 years in the minors. He came up like 2 or 3 times before this for like barely any time. But if you look at his numbers while he was there, he hit well. But they made this guy stick in the minors forever, put him up in the majors, and was instantly a top 10 player in the league with not even playing a full season. But he breaks out at 29 years
And
old.
it's not even like service time manipulation. He was 29.
Yeah.
Didn't make the opening day roster, and he was clearly better than these other outfielders.
For some reason, the Cardinals did not believe in Tommy Pham, but Tommy Pham believes in Tommy Pham. A couple months later, Pham gets traded to the Rays, where he is instantly an impact. All right, this guy fractures his foot, then comes back and plays in the same month. Fractured foot, keeps playing anyway. The next year, 2019, he breaks his hand in the middle of the season, played with a broken hand, and ended up being the second best position player on the team. They won 96 games, made the playoffs for the first time in 6 years, and becomes a fan favorite and team favorite because he was the 3rd best left fielder in baseball with a broken hand, dude. 2019, Tommy Pham, broken hand, Tommy Pham, 2019, left field, Tampa Bay Rays. He's back. The fans love him. The team loves him. And the Rays fucking trade him. The Tampa Bay Rays trade Tommy Pham. People are pissed. Rays fans thought it was stupid. And his teammate, Blake Snell, infamously goes on a Twitch live stream and says, quote, "We gave up Pham for Renfroe and a, quote, slap dick prospect." Later apologizing, saying him and Pham were just good friends. But that was one of the funniest moments every time. He gets traded for Renfroe and a prospect. Who was the prospect they traded for him? Because I remember he ended up coming up.
It's Xavier Edwards.
Xavier Edwards, who's on Jack's Mighty Marlins right now. But yeah, fucking Blake Snell goes on Twitch and publicly calls the new prospect they just got a slapdick prospect and kind of shits on Renfroe, who are both going to be his new teammates, which is pretty funny. But this just goes to show how much he fucked with Tommy Pham.
Snell was also right. They traded Cronenworth too.
Oh, Cronenworth to the Padres?
Yeah. It wasn't a great trade for the Rays.
Rays.
And it's hard to win a trade with the Rays.
Yeah, Rays are known for having the best trades. Not this time. They traded Pham for a slapdick prospect. That's what you get. Sadly for Pham, he breaks his hand and has to miss a lot of 2020. Then, that offseason, he gets stabbed again. Okay, according to the story, Pham was outside a nightclub. There was a fight between two people. Pham tried to get them away from his car where they were fighting. This escalated. He ended up getting stabbed and was rushed to the hospital, needed 200 stitches. All right, Pham ended up suing, where the court ruled that Pham was not the aggressor, that he had no alcohol in his system, and he was awarded the max settlement. So, I mean, he comes out of the stabbing pretty much as good as you can. Like, the guy gets stabbed in the middle of the pandemic at a nightclub. But turns out it wasn't really his fault. He sues. Did he sue the security or did he sue the guys?
The guys never got arrested.
Yeah, I know
so
that.
he sued the nightclub security.
Yeah, because that was his beef, that he said that the security actually was like egged it on or like was responsible for some way. They didn't handle things well. They made everyone freak out. Tommy Pham ends up getting stabbed in, I don't know, I think Las Vegas in the off season. But yeah, scary shit. Reportedly still needed to regain his strength from the stabbing. On top of that, he needed surgery on his finger, but still somehow ended up playing 155 games for the Padres, coming off a stabbing. Not many guys do that, coming off the IL from a stabbing, then play 155. Miss barely any games, all right? In 2022, he's on the Reds. He's playing for his former team. In 2022, he's on the Reds. He's playing his former team. As Luke Voigt comes home, he slides into the catcher and slams the catcher's head into the ground. Stevenson, the catcher, was put on the 7-day injured list with a concussion, but their manager later confessed he didn't think it was a dirty slide. Even though he challenged it in the moment, even the Reds manager said this wasn't a dirty slide. Tommy Pham disagreed, saying, quote, "It was a dirty saying, quote, "It was dirty as fuck," later challenging Luke Voigt to a fight, saying, quote, "If Luke wants to settle it, I get down really well," saying he will challenge him to a Muay Thai or any martial art fight, saying he knows a gym owner who will let them fight in their gym. Luke Voigt did not accept this challenge, but this challenge is still up there. Any comments on that, Jack? You thought that was funny, going after the Muay Thai?
I mean, that's just like their most ridiculous. Like, they're 11 years old. I feel like he means it.
Oh, he means it.
Oh, yeah, he means it, dude.
I'm sorry, this was the runner or the catcher who proposed this?
It was the outfielder.
Tommy Pham proposed this.
Oh.
Neither.
He wasn't even involved. He wasn't
Tommy,
not.
nah,
he
fam.
was not. Tommy, nah, fam. No, dude. Tommy, yes, fam. He fucking wasn't even involved in this fight. This is just sees his teammate gets fucking head smashed through the dirt and was like, "Bro, I will fight you out of."
That's why I think his teammates love him, bro. He's fucking absolutely down.
Yeah, and he's a legit martial artist, all right? Because this is not the only time he's flexed his martial arts training, all right? Tommy Pham might be the most prepared fighter in MLB. In June 2024, he gets thrown out coming home. He gets up to go to the dugout, but realizes that catcher William Contreras was rubbing it in his face a little bit, all right? Tommy Pham didn't like that, immediately challenges Contreras to a fight as Contreras goes back to the dugout. Pham continues staring him down. Pham continues staring down the dugout and getting in a fighting stance as he walks back to his position. After the game, saying he heard some, quote, hoorah shit from the Brewers, says he never starts anything, but, quote, I'm prepared to fuck somebody up. He says there's a reason he does all kind of fighting in the offseason. This guy literally trains in the offseason fighting just in case something pops up. Not only is he the hardest working baseball player in terms of training, swinging, catching, whatever, stealing, all that, he's still finding time to beat the fuck out of a punching bag. He's probably sparring and all that types of shit, dude. Anyway, luckily there was never a real showdown. However, in 2022, there was one. And this is one of the most notorious confrontations, I would say, in baseball history. Okay, Pham was in a fantasy league with a ton of big name players in MLB. Who was in this league, Mitchell? Eric Gausman was in this league. You had Moustakas. You had Jock Peterson, of course. You had Mike Trout.
As the commissioner.
Mike Trout was the commissioner. You had some other guys I forgot, but like Machado was in this league. It was like big name players across the league. And Tommy Pham was in this league. Okay? Although it was technically legal, he had a problem with how Jock Peterson was using the injury reserve list, all right? And I don't really understand fantasy football that well, but something about the injury reserve list, Jock was putting guys on and taking them off in a manner that Tommy Pham didn't think should have been illegal. He felt it was unfair, but the league deemed it legal. Mike Trout, as commissioner, I guess, was responsible for saying, no, it's okay. Tommy Pham, who takes fantasy football very seriously, especially since this was a 10K buy-in, left the league halfway through the season because of this reserve clause shit. Left the league, said, fuck that. Then he runs into Jock Peterson a year later on the field and slaps him in the face over fantasy football. Pham was fined and suspended for this, but says he doesn't regret it, adding that, quote, Mike Trout is the worst commissioner in baseball. All right, one of Pham's teammates told the media that, quote, Tommy talked about it so much, I thought Jock was one of my teammates, then added that Pham was also one of his favorite teammates of all time, which is so funny. Like, this guy was like so pissed about fantasy football. And I've heard multiple interviews since then where he's not even talking about this, where he just brings up fantasy football. He just seems like a big fantasy football guy. And man, Mike Trout and Jock Peterson trying to do some reserve clause, reverse clause, injury
reserve.
Yeah, reserve clause. That's some other shit. Anyway. And Jock Peterson learned a lesson. He got Jock Peterson was like, dude, guy didn't even have shoes on. He was like shoeless in the outfield. Like, what is it called? Grounding, like some real piece, like some Cali shit, dude.
They're on like completely opposite ends of like the baseball spectrum.
Yeah. That Jock was not. He was out there with no shoes, sunning, getting some sun, getting some grounding, and fucking Tommy Pham says, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" Showing face around me, slaps him in the face, dude.
Joey, promise me you'll never say anything negative about Tommy Pham on this podcast.
I'm trying not to, bro. I mean, I would never do it on purpose, but like that's the thing with you never know. You got.
There was a podcast, I'd like a little bit after that, where Tyler Matzik and Josh Tomlin, who were teammates with Peterson and the Braves, said that Peterson wouldn't come out of the clubhouse that year when they played Pham, and Pham was still like, nah. I didn't get him this time, but just wait, and then waited another year.
So he goes a whole year. So they face off against Jock Peterson after this happened, and Jock Peterson won't leave the clubhouse. He knows that Tommy Pham is after him. He's so scared of Tommy Pham. He stays in the Braves clubhouse and won't leave. A year goes by. Jock Peterson thinks it's all good, all right? It's been 2 years. It's fantasy football. He can't be that mad. Pham runs into him in the outfield, slaps him in the face, man. got what you deserve, dude. It was a 10K league. Don't be fucking messing with the injury list, you motherfucker.
I also love how Pham was like, I was in second when I left, by the way. I wasn't losing that shit.
Second place. That's a principal man. It would be bad if he was last place because, there's a punishment for last place. But second place, hey, principal man.
Good luck punishing Pham, bro.
For real. I think the punishment was like a 10K. Yeah, you win 10, you lose 10K buy-in, but if you lose, you have to pay another 10K. So 20K if you lose. You think?
Unless you lose, Tommy, and then it's you do whatever you want.
Yeah, don't hurt me. Okay, so the next year he's on the Mets, where another story comes out of Pham calling out the entire clubhouse for being, quote, the least hardworking team he's ever been on. And again, this was appreciated by the Mets. Like, the story comes out, like, Tommy Pham got in the clubhouse, called everyone out for being lazy, and every single person on the Mets who's ever commented on this has said good things about Pham. Like, Lindor comes out saying it was healthy. Buck Showalter, the manager, comes out, supports Tommy Pham's criticism. Multiple people saying they appreciated that coming from Tommy Pham. The only people who seem to not like Tommy Pham are these fans who claim that Pham was, quote, waiting to go off on someone. While on deck, he says the fans were calling him a piece of shit. One then told him to strike out. He responded by saying, quote, it's always funny when you got a white man feel like they can disrespect a black, sorry, I just misfucked that quote up. It's always funny when you're a white man and you feel like you can disrespect me. A black man or Latin, don't do that shit. And these people get all sensitive about Tommy Pham calling him a white piece of shit.
Hey, you're no John Boy with these voiceovers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not John Boy, but we can maybe cut that in post. But you don't need a lip read that shit. You can hear it in the video saying those exact words, and these people get all sad about that. They call him out on social media. But once again, manager has his back, dude. He calls out these fans, and the manager is in full support of Tommy Pham, even after this shit. And here's a good example why. Here's a story of Tommy Pham. Despite all the fighting and incidents, everyone in MLB seems to have Tommy Pham's back. And this is why. This story. In 2023, in the World Series, he's 35. It's likely his last World Series. It's also his first World Series, but likely this is it. This is your last World Series. He goes 4 for 4. The first DH in World Series history to go 4 for 4. He has one more at bat. He has a chance to become the only player ever to go 5 for 5 in a World Series game. He doesn't go to the plate, okay? Instead, Tommy Pham asks his manager to put in Jace Peterson, a veteran on his last leg, got to take this at bat. It ended up being Jace Peterson's only at bat in the World Series, meaning he can say for the rest of his life he played in a World Series, all because of Tommy Pham, bro. And there you go. A good fucking guy. Until you cross the line, he'll slap the shit out of you. But like, what a fucking move to get Jace Peterson in there. One hit away from 5 for 5. Jace Peterson, who we all knew, this guy ain't going to the World Series again. I mean, I can't believe he was even on that team.
He was done after 2024 last season. He was terrible in like 30 games, and he hasn't signed with another team since. So like Tommy Pham saw into the future, was like, my boy Jace is never going to get another shot again.
Yeah.
And he went to his manager and said, you got to put him in. And Torey Lovullo was like, well, it's the World Series. It's
Whatever
kind
you
of
say,
a close
Tommy.
game. Like, we're up by a lot, but like, if the lead gets below this, you have to hit. And he was like, no, you're putting in Jace Peterson. I'm surprised Torey Lovullo even like questioned him. If Tommy Pham comes up to me and says, you are putting in this guy to pinch hit for me, and I'm Torey, I'm like, yes, you got it.
What a fucking baller move. Get Jace Peterson in the arcade. So right now, Pham is still kicking. All right, so pretty much everywhere Pham goes, people in the locker room go out of their way to say what a solid teammate Pham is. That's part of the reason at 37 he still has a job. He's in Pittsburgh, a veteran player. He's, teaching the young guys. It's a young up-and-coming team. However, there was an incident, and we actually already talked about this incident, I find out now. So there you go. If you forgot from 20 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, Tommy Pham, a guy in the crowd touched him in the back. He told him to suck his dick, and he was fined $10,000 for doing this. But hey, We still love him, brother. That is the story of Tommy Pham.
The contrast between Tommy Pham and Roki Sasaki, just talking about them back to back, is I couldn't think of more different types of players.
Very different players.
They both have like childhood tragedies in their lives, but one of them is very different.
Yeah, they handle trauma a little differently. That is crazy. Both great guys. Love them both. But if they fought, I'm going Tommy Pham on that one.
I don't think that fight's lasting 10 seconds.
I would love to see Tommy Pham fight in the ring. He seems like a guy who would honestly try to be a fighter after he retires because he's training and he seems like a real intense competitor.
It's not unheard of with the celebrity boxing. It's really popping off these days.
Hell yeah.
You can see,
I don't even
Tommy
think he
Pham
need to take the celebrity route. I think I could just see him like joining in from the ground level and just quickly
Yeah,
rising
but he
through the
could make
ranks.
money right off the bat.
He's trying.
He doesn't want it that way. He wants to prove himself the right way.
No, I think I might start trying to fight YouTubers, bro. That's kind of scary. Don't come after BDE. Tommy, we love you. All right. Closers suck this year. Rossiel Glacius, what happened to that guy? He had a 1.95 ERA. Now he's got a 6.3 ERA.
Just can't stop allowing homers.
Emmanuel Clase, 0.61 ERA last year. All-time season. 7.15, bro. 7.15 ERA.
Now he's not even the closer.
Emmanuel Clase got benched
Yeah.
for Cade Smith.
I don't know if it's Cade Smith.
You don't know if it's Cade Smith?
I didn't go that far.
All right, Emmanuel Clase gets benched for Cade Smith. We'll never know because Mitchell didn't get that far. Devin Williams. Hey, you better not get this one fucking wrong, motherfucker. Devin Williams, last year, 1.25 ERA. Now he's 11.25. He got benched. Who's the new closer for the Yankees?
Luke Weaver.
Luke-
I got that one.
Motherfucking Weaver. And Cleveland fan tells Jaron Duran he should have killed himself. And that's the podcast, everybody. No, we're just kidding. It's really not funny. But yeah, there was another off the field or on the field altercation. I didn't actually see this, though. Did he argue with the guy?
Yeah, he was pointing out. It's kind of reminded me of Miles Straw in New York a few years ago,
okay.
except he didn't go up into the stands. But he was trying to get that guy ejected because I think the umpires told him, "Oh, we'll take care of it at the end of the inning," and then the inning ended, and Jaron Duran was like, "Get that guy out of here."
So he was losing. Yep, you don't like to see the fans and the players get after it, but it's happening a lot this week. Jaron Duran, who opened up about him battling suicidal thoughts while in Major League Baseball this offseason, this fan tells him to KYS like he's on freaking, I don't know, Modern Warfare 2 in 2011, dude. You're in real life and the guy's 10 feet away from you. Don't tell him to kill yourself. Jesus Christ. Kind of a fucked up thing to say. I'm going to guess he had a couple too many few beers there, Mitch.
I think he will not be going to baseball games for a long time.
Unless they can't prove it. Can't prove it. You don't know what I said. You got to get your... He needs to take a break from baseball games. I agree. Do not yell that at people. Unless it's Modern Warfare 2 in like 2009, you're chilling. But like I'm saying, we evolve and real life is different than that. But Jaron Duran, is Jaron Duran doing good this year?
He had a really good series, which is probably not defending the fan, but probably what pissed off the fan so much because
Not defending the fan, but he had a really good
he
series.
had a
Can
really
you
good
blame him
series.
for
He stole
wanting to-
home yesterday. Really cool.
Oh, he
steal
stole
of
home?
He stole home. Straight steal of home.
Just kill yourself.
And
Disrespect.
the Red Sox won today, 13-3. And nothing sends a fan over the edge like a blowout loss.
Not to defend the fan or anything. It's like, I don't know, Mitch. We didn't think you were, but now you say that. Not to defend the fan, but actually Jaron Duran's doing really good. So could you really blame him for a guy telling him to kill himself? A guy with like a history of suicidal thoughts to kill himself. He's like hitting 500 in the series. Anyway, Aaron Judge is on pace for the greatest season of all time, dude. He hit another.
And he's not
ding-dong.
even on pace for 50 homers.
I know he's doing it without home runs. The guy can't hit a fucking home run anymore for his life. He just still hits doubles every time, but he did hit a home run today. Well, I think he went off today. Like even, are these updated stats from after today?
Yeah.
So he was on pace to have the greatest season ever according to WAR before today, and he is still on pace to have the greatest season ever.
Today he went 3 for 8. He had a home run, 2 runs, an RBI. His WRC plus went down.
So he got worse today. Let me tell you. So 2 for 8 with a home run, a double, and a lot of RBIs, and he got worse. So he leads the league in WAR, leads the league in runs, lead the league in hits, lead the league in RBIs, lead the league in average, lead the league in on base percentage, lead the league in slugging, lead the league in on base, OPS, lead the league in weighted on base average, lead the league in total bases, lead the league in RBAT plus, lead the league,
Who's this?
leads the league in all that.
I have no idea what you're saying. It sounds like lead,
Lead, dude. Guy leads the league in everything. That's the point. You get what I'm putting up? Are you slow? If you're listening, you got it. All right, next topic. Let's just get to the Q&A section, all right? Fuck, dude. Let's get to the Q&A and wrap it up. We only got a few questions. We already talked about one. It was disrespectful to the producer. If you ask any bullshit about Jack again, I'm banning your account. Okay?
Nah, I'll take the smoke.
Why the hell don't you guys talk about the Dodgers?
We never talk about the Dodgers. What's up with that?
We've talked about the Dodgers on every episode. But I appreciate the comment and I appreciate the question. So thank you for bringing it up. We'll talk about the Dodgers more next time. Just
Real quick,
for you.
A. Camacho, the guy who asked me about my micro penis, I'd like to challenge him to a Muay Thai contest.
You got a gym, Jack?
Who needs a gym?
Why should that be Tommy Pham's burner account?
Oh, shit. I will say,
It's probably
dude.
Mitch's burner account.
Yeah. Hate to see the team stab each other in the back, man. But, hey, if we got to
Don't bring up stabbing, bro.
it would be good content. How long can Aaron Judge keep producing like this? Fuck. I put those stats in so I could answer this question. But there you go, Luke. I answered your question. I didn't answer your question, but how long can he keep this up? I don't know if he's going to have the best season by WAR in history. That seems extreme. However, like, would you be that surprised? I mean, his numbers right now, he's hitting 408. We can assume he's not going to end the season batting 400. Aaron Judge will not bat 400 this season. I can guarantee you that. His on-base percentage is 508. Last year, he had a 458, which is not too far off. So I could see him ending the season with an on-base percentage close to 500. He's slugging 714, which would be definitely his career high. And I don't know, maybe the career high ever. Has anyone slugged 700 plus? Scott, Babe Ruth had it done.
I mean, last year Judge had a slugging over 700.
Okay, 700 last year. So yes, 714. So can he do it? Can he keep this up?
Barry Bonds had a slugging of 863.
Whoa. Yeah, in hindsight, that was a dumb question. Of course, people have slugged 714 or higher. I would say, dude, it's definitely possible. Like, I was very surprised to see that his WAR was projected that high. But I guess maybe his defense is a lot better this year, or they're judging him. I don't know. But these offensive numbers, if you look at them, aren't too far off what he's done in other seasons. Now, they would be his best season of date, but hey, I would not be shocked if he keeps this up for the rest of the year. What do you think?
I don't have a limit for Aaron Judge. If he's hitting 408 right now, I'm like, yeah, he can hit that for the rest of the season. Like, there are other players where you expect them to regress to the mean. I don't have that for Judge.
It's also kind of scary that his homers, I mean, he has 8 homers, which I think would be second in the league right now. So it's not like he's not hitting homers, but he hasn't hit a home run in like a week or two. So it's almost like his homers, he hasn't even gotten his power stride yet. Like he, in some ways, hasn't even hit his full strength.
I think if you expect, or if you're seeing someone is on pace for 15, 16 WAR, you're like, oh man, they must be hitting a lot of homers, and that's what's elevating their WAR. With Judge, you're like, oh, he could hit more homers.
Yeah.
And his WAR pace could go up. Like, he's not even hitting the homers, and his WAR is on pace for that.
So shit, dude. I mean, Aaron Judge literally might have the best season of all time according to WAR this year. And I would not be surprised. So that's your answer to the question. Can he keep it up? I want to say, hell yeah, he can keep it up. 7 home runs. Yeah, he's like, I mean, that's like 4th. Eugenio Suarez leading the league with home runs. 10 home runs, hit 4 homers against our Braves, and they still fucking lost. Because you can't beat our Braves, brother. You don't have to win every game, Mitch. You just have to win every series. All right, that's gonna be the end. Any final thoughts, boys?
Wearing the titties hat.
Oh yeah, you like my hat? Hey Haas.
I'm offended.
Hey, buddy.
It's a stupid. I mean, the hat. It looks cool.
Free speech, Jack. Free speech. But what's up? Why are you offended?
It's just. I just think it is a bad design. Like the T over the X. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's a funny hat though. That's why.
You and Drake got a lot in common.
Drake. Mitch.
A lot in common, apparently.
Oh wow, you think Drake's a bad singer now? You motherfucker.
I don't think that's what he
I
meant.
think we got a Drake defender on the pod.
Oh, you because my voice cracked? You call me a pedophile now?
I don't see the connection there.
Well, he
but-
said like, oh, it reminds me of, like I reminded him of Drake.
I didn't say that. Jack said that.
All right, well, I got to fire 2 people now. Great.
There are 2 new positions that baseball doesn't exist. There's a researcher and a producer.
This is what the next episode is gonna look like. It was black screen. Joey
Oh,
can't see it.
All right. I can figure out the shit. I recorded a podcast with Dallas Braden for his interview, kind of. So I did it once. I can do it twice. We might have to drop down to 1 episode like every 2 weeks, though, because it would take a little longer to drop a pod.
You'd be in here for like 10 hours before it gets going.
Just pulling my fucking. I'm gonna show Jack I can do this shit by myself. Once I learn, it's gonna be easy. All right. Any final thoughts, Mitch?
Got a new video out. We mentioned it at the top of the podcast, but if you haven't watched the new video on the Savannah Bananas, you should do it right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Listen to the Savannah Bananas video. I think it's pretty good, man. Savannah Banana, I learned a lot. I'll be honest, I was pretty ignorant of the Savannah Bananas going into that. I really never really paid much attention to them. I kind of was on, you know how people are kind of saying they're cringe now? I kind of was in that camp for like most of the Savannah Bananas tenure because it's a lot of guys with their shirts off dancing. You know, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's for girls and, little, you know what I'm saying? That's who it's for. You can't really hate on it though. But, it's pretty interesting to see what they're building there. That guy who runs the Savannah Bananas, he's trying to make something big. He's trying to make this shit into like something bigger than like a new sport.
I don't even know if you can say he's trying. Yesterday, they had 81,000 fans at Clemson's football stadium.
Yeah, but that's what like. But he's doing the cruises and shit. He wants to create like a Disney type experience with the banana, like an entire universe of banana things. Like I think his long-term vision, I think, is way beyond the bananas or Savannah. Like there's just some weird, interesting stuff, and people are starting to hate it. Some people, most people love it.
I went to a game last year when they were here in DC, and it's just like 2 hours of nonstop action.
Did you like the game?
Yeah, it was really fun. I bought tickets for this year too.
How'd you get tickets?
National season ticket holder.
Oh, I thought you had to get on a wait list or something.
They bypass you on the wait list if you pay the Nationals a bunch of money for 20-some games.
Well, I do like the Savannah Bananas. I'm pro Savannah Bananas. As a grown man, I might not go to game like you did because you're a little kid, but little baby, I'm an adult. I actually prefer plays.
What's your favorite play?
that
Hamilton?
that I've been to. Midsummer. Saw it at the Kennedy Center last 2023, November 2023, Midsummer. Shakespeare. You probably never heard of it, buddy. See you later. See you next time. Bye-bye.